Hello, everybody, and if you're new, thank you for subscribing and for stopping by. I really want people to understand that we really should wake up, that history definitely can repeat itself, and it has many times. Um, I also want to share with you some of the things that I have done to try to figure out what they used to do because I already have a really good idea about the Depression because I've had family members that lived through it. And depending on, like whether you were Italian or whether you were a good old fashioned hilly-billy, you cook different. And so, an Italian was more into the pasta. So there would be a lot of different pasta dishes that maybe they did during the Depression that maybe the person that was a hillbilly didn't. Now, some of the foods that we have around today are from the Depression. Meatloaf is one of them. Potatoes and hot dogs is another one of them. I didn't know that. I made hot dogs with potatoes forever and a day. Never knew it was something that they did during the Depression because my grandmother just didn't eat hot dogs. Beanie Weenies was a thing that came along from the Depression. I don't know if I mentioned meatloaf, but that was another one. There was a lot of things. But I wanted to go further back into the 1800s. I said to myself, if people had the net back in the Depression, they would have probably been searching the same thing. I was surprised to find out that in the 1800s, sugar was not something they used because it was extremely expensive, for it to come over and everything. And they said that a pound of sugar back then would have been like $75 today, and only the elite would have been able to afford it. Well, if it was 75 pounds today, it would still be the same. So apple pie was made with no sugar. Lots of things were made with no sugar. The pies back then were more of the applesauce kind of pie, with the sweetest apple they could find, which would probably be a red delicious to us today. But yet we search to make apple pies from Granny Smith apples. I've also heard that when they did make an apple pie, if they had sugar and they wanted to put sugar, they would they would lift up the crust on the pie and sprinkle just a tiny amount over the apple. That way they could get away with just using a couple of spoons of sugar for all the slices of pie, and that would give it a little more sweetness. Now, I'm going to share with something that, and another thing. I'm subscribed to somebody who is not from this country. She's from Turkey, and she does all of her cooking outside, and I'm just amazed. She doesn't really give the ingredients list. She tells you what she puts in it, but not how much. But I have picked up a few things from her. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do, especially with this recipe right here. This is what you've been looking at for a while. Now, I don't buy bacon in a package. If I buy bacon, I will buy it in a box where it's ends and pieces. Because I don't fry bacon like most people do. I use it more to combine it with other things. Now, I've got 3 small potatoes that I peeled and cubed up, and I've got in a little bit of lard here. And what I'm going to do is take a small amount of bacon, and I'm going to put it into a skillet. Now, you see I've got ham and bacon here, right? Both of them that I'm chopping up. The ham came from a ham that I made at Thanksgiving time. And that little silver scooper thing, I don't know what that thing is called, but I got it for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I love that thing. It's great from your cutting board to scoop up spices and even your potatoes or bacon in this case. And I'm going to fry this bacon in a small skillet by itself. I'm going to start off because I want it to get a little bit brown first. And so I'm going to cook it till it's a little bit brown. And then I will add the chopped up ham to it. And I'm going to kind of stir it around a little bit so that the ham, because the ham's already cooked, can heat up good with the bacon. Because I've got a stick of chorizo. Now, you could use sausage, but I want to save my sausage for gravy. When I make gravy and biscuits, I put sausage in my gravy, so I really like to save my sausage for gravy. So I don't dislike the taste of chorizo. I like it, so I add the chorizo to the potatoes. And I let it kind of cook because it's frozen. It comes in a plastic casing. And I just stir it into the potatoes and kind of let it, warm up and cook. And I will take the ham and the bacon, and I'm going to mix that into the potatoes. Now, this is my way of using food, but a very small amount of it. In other words, especially expensive kinds of food like ham and bacon and sausage. I use a very tiny amount of it to extend something else and still give it a delicious flavor. Now, once I get this going and everything is, put together, I put a little bit of salt and pepper, and I put a lid on it and kind of let it get warmed up and cooked together. And what I'm going to do to this is I'm going to add some eggs to it. Okay, now this will serve about 4 people. Now that's 1 egg each. Or if you want to put 2 eggs, that would be an awful lot of eggs in this one skillet, and this is a pretty big skillet. But or it could feed 2 really hungry people, and that would give them 2 eggs each. But you can fry the eggs separate. But I don't want to mess up another skillet. So I'm going to put my eggs in the same skillet. I'm just going to move the potatoes and the meat out of the way, and I'm just going to break my eggs right down into this skillet. And that way, I hate cleaning dishes. I love to cook, but I don't like to do the dishes, and I'm the dishwasher, so I try to save as many dishes as possible. And so I'm going to cook all this in the same skillet. And I'm going to fit 4 eggs in here. And then what I'll do is I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper over these eggs. And I was going to say, when it comes to bacon, something that I do, I chop up my bacon and I cook it. And I cook it till it's a little bit on the crispy side. And when I put my powder white beans on, I will put that cooked bacon and the grease from the bacon right into the beans and then cook it. I just think it gives it a better flavor than just putting the raw bacon in with the beans. I just like the flavor better. But you can do what you want. Now I got a top on there because I got my eggs in there. And this way it can cook the egg. The steam from all of this will cook it. Now your top will be a little bit runny and your bottom will be a little more cooked. And that's it. And breakfast is ready. And I didn't even use 2 complete pieces of bacon. And so I have more bacon for another day. Now this is a way to stretch your sausage or bacon a lot further. Well, God bless and have a blessed day.